And now we bring you the highlights of Seneca Valley as they take on the Newcastle Red Hurricane. This rivalry goes back in time as Seneca Valley and Newcastle, back in the days when Quad A was initially formed, had a lot of great games together. So we're going to whisk through here, kind of give you some highlights of what's going on, and we'll take a look. Now, Newcastle will be in the dark jerseys, and Seneca Valley in the white. Right off the bat, Newcastle gets a 10-5 lead on the Raiders, and jump ball called there. This is halfway through the first period. Newcastle, in its traditional pressure defense, trapping. Seneca Valley, a 6A team, sets up to try to break the pressure. As the ball goes into the corner, they throw it cross court, get down. Newcastle able to deflect it away off the Seneca Valley player, and the ball goes over to the Canes. So with 4:45 left, Newcastle goes on offense, up by 5, and patiently looks for the shot as they run their offensive set pretty well. Dribble down drive, and the shot is good. And right away a timeout is called. We'll move to further action. Moving to further action, Newcastle was able to expand its lead right before the end of the first period, up 19-7. The Canes very effective in doing that, as they are streak shooters, and they will hit that three-point shot. They will pressure you, cause turnovers. So as we come to the end of the first period, and Seneca Valley applied pressure right there. As we come to the end of the first period, the Canes were able to go up 21-9 as they entered the second period. Now, in the second period, with the Canes up 33-18, halfway through the third, the Canes able to build on that lead, that 12-point lead, stretching it to 15. Canes in the man-to-man defense. Seneca Valley attempting to pound it down low and gets the shot. As they cut the lead to 13, the Canes quickly come across the timeline, not allowing Seneca Valley to press. And that a hallmark of Newcastle, as they will bring the ball up court very quickly on you and answer when it's time to answer. Walking called there, and then a timeout. So we'll move ahead to further action. Now, as we got down to the last 47.5 seconds, you'll see Newcastle up by 21. 41-20. And Seneca Valley taking the ball out. Newcastle there with the defense every step of the way. Shaw goes inside, and the Raiders score. 19-point lead, and the Canes will come across with 30 seconds. They're very good at holding for the last shot, and foul called on the Raiders. I believe they called 3 seconds as subs come in. That called away from the ball. With 20 seconds to go and Newcastle with a 19-point lead, they come up with a steal, move it across the half-court line, get it inside. They miss the layup, and time runs out. Newcastle goes to the half up by 19, and now let's take a look at third quarter action. Now, taking a look at the third quarter action, Newcastle up by 19. Newcastle getting the ball to start the third, and walking called on the Canes. Down the stretch, Canes are going to have to make sure that they don't make those kind of errors, as those kind of errors could prove very costly in playoff runs. Seneca Valley getting to the hoop, cutting the lead to 17, and Newcastle works the perimeter. 3-point shot, and that just off the mark, and foul called. Ball will go out of bounds to Seneca Valley. Canes will have to really pay attention to the foul issue, and that being the fourth, I believe that as I take a look down team fouls, that's the first for the Canes. The other one is timeouts left. But if you recall in the last couple games, Canes accumulated a lot of fouls, not necessarily hurting them in one instance or another, but you got to watch on those fouls. So with a 17-point lead in the third, okay, we'll move ahead to further action. Moving ahead to further action, 53-28 with 2:54 left in the third period. The Canes able to maintain the lead, and not only maintain it, but add to it as they're up 25. Hurricane defense, very important, as the subs come in for Seneca Valley. Newcastle with the ball out, puts 4 across the baseline, and right away goes on the attack. Pounds it down low, gets it back to the wing, 3-point shot. Canes able to hit the 3, and that extends the lead to 28. 50 I believe, as drive shot, no good. And right away the Canes turn the ball over. That cutting down on the turnovers, very important. So 56-28. Canes just a bucket away from the mercy rule. And they get the ball down low, inadvertently throwing the ball away. 56-28. Tipped by Seneca Valley, the ball go out to Newcastle. Now keep in mind that once the Canes or any team gets a score and it's 30, the clock never reverts back to stopping. Shot off and steal by Newcastle. Layup, no good, bounces back. Perkins able to get it, gets it into the corner, they get it inside, and ball on the floor. Wait for the call. It'll be turned over to Seneca Valley. Minute 3 left in the third. Canes have been in control throughout. Seneca Valley takes it up court. There's under a minute. The Canes are up by 28. Seneca Valley goes right side and brings the forward up through the center, then goes back to the right side, drives the baseline, and Canes get the turnover. Down court, layup, and there you have. The clock will not stop now in the fourth period as the mercy rule being in effect. 58-28, Canes hustle down, pass out to the wing, and they're going to go into the fourth period with a substantial lead. And this is 5A Newcastle taking on 6A Seneca Valley. And foul is called, they ended up calling walking. So notice how the clock runs. We'll be going to the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, the Canes will widen the lead, 66-32. And once again, I said the mercy rule, that clock will continue to run, and the quarter be very, very quickly. Ball bounces around. Seneca Valley able to come up with it, and on that drive, whistles blow. That'll bring the Seneca Valley to the line as they trail by 34. First shot off the mark, rebound to the Canes. Pass goes left side as Canes take a look for the cutter. Ball turned over to Seneca Valley. Charge called. Well, then I thought he was going to call the charge. He called a blocking foul on Newcastle. He gave us two. If you go back and look at that, he initially called the charge, and then he called the blocking foul. I think he was trying to say the bucket was good. So score goes to 66-35. Canes with a 31-point lead. 3-point shot off the mark, and Seneca Valley gets the ball, comes down, 3-point shot off the mark, and what we're going to do is go to further action. With that being said, the score ends 66-35 as the Mercy roll and keeps the clock running. 66-35, Canes win. Thanks for watching NCTV45.